Hello everyone, today's October 18th. I'm going to turn on the AutoPilot trading system using an 8-range chart. I have a template which is just for 8 range with specific settings. Those of you who have the AutoPilot system can access that through the member account. We give you all of the settings for the 8 range. Now because we're starting a little bit later, I'm going to add the start time here to where we currently are. So currently we're at about 10:20, so I'm going to change that here so we start immediately because we can set the times. And I'm also going to set this to start immediately. So I'm not going to wait until the next new trade. I'm going to actually begin the system to trade immediately if there's a system or if there's a signal already. So how this works, let me break this. Now before we begin, remember that trading is risky. Please don't trade with funds you cannot afford to lose. There are risks involved with trading. So you can see that the first trade starting at 10:15 was a long position and it was successful. So there's a long entry at 43.84 and based on that trailing stop it took us out of the trade at 43.89. So what we have here is a previous trade which is outlined there by that long. Now when I turned on the system, we're already in a trade which is short, and you can see that short entry at 43.89 with that little red triangle. Now because we started the system after that signal was produced, I'm entering into the trade where the system was already short previously, maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago. And so when you have this setting, immediately submit synchronize account, it's indicating, well, the system is already in a trade, in this case short, and you just want to enter short based on that current signal. Now we may enter at a worse price, we may enter at the same price or a better price, but in this example we're entering at, the market's already short, so we're just entering short because the system is already short. That's how that works. I also have here a setting where if the market gives us $500 in profit, so you can see there that it's making $100, 112, 100. So if we make $500, there's a setting in the AutoPilot trading system which indicates to shut it down. You've made the $500, you can set it to whatever you want. You can put it to $100 a day. You can put it to $1,000 a day. So we have to be realistic, right? We can't set this to, I want to make $10,000 a day unless you're using multiple contracts. So I have it set pretty conservatively at $500. After the market gives us $500, it will stop trading, it'll shut it down, it'll say that's the daily profit that you want. Now the same thing is true, let's say that you have a maximum loss for the day. There's also a setting in the AutoPilot here system that says if you lose $1,000 a day or $500 a day, whatever you set it to, it will also shut down the system unless you re-engage it. And so if this specific short signal makes $500, it will stop trading, and there should be a label on the chart that says your maximum profit for the day has been achieved, and it'll stop trading and will not continue trading. And that's really the goal. We don't want to trade 24 hours a day. We want to make consistent profits and stop trading. Tomorrow's another day. That's always a good way to think about it. Sometimes we can restart this, especially if there's 2-3 winning trades in a row right from the beginning, and actually it happened. So daily profit limit reached, it says there at 43.79 quarter. So you entered long, you entered short, the $500, I think I have it set to $500, it was achieved. Now let's say that you say to yourself as a trader, well, it's still early and it's early enough where the market's strong. I want to try for a larger profit target. Let me restart the system and increase the profit target. So you can definitely do that. Now, how I tell my traders how to approach this is I say, if you've taken, for example, 10 trades, and at the end of 10 trades, it's still maybe a small loss or a small win, but you're not really near the profit target that you want. Now you have to consider, well, I'm trading so much. Is it really worth trying and trying where the market may be flopping around, it's not moving? So it's not necessarily the more trades that you take that you're better off, it's the quality of the trades. It's the same thing. Let's say that you have 2 or 3 losing trades back to back. I think at that point you should say, okay, it's not a great day to trade for whatever the reason. Maybe it's choppy, maybe it's high volatility, maybe it's too slow. It's also another reason to stop trading. So we have this daily profit and loss maximum threshold. If it makes a certain amount of money, whatever you set it to, or if you lose a certain amount of money. So let's re-engage this. Let's turn this back on. And what I'm going to do now is increase. So the time is still between, we're up to 11:45. So we haven't passed yet the time where we want to trade, right? And I'm re-engage this. So now I've increased it to $1,000. So my target now for the day previously was $500 is going to now be $1,000. So the system will continue to trade, trying to make $1,000 a day, or for the loss, the same thing, $1,000 for the day as a loss. That's what I had it set to. Up until 11:45, which at that point it'll say, well, that's it. We haven't made the target, or we haven't made the daily loss for the day. It'll stop trading, or if it makes the $1,000, it'll stop trading before that. So all I've really done here is restarted the system, increased the daily profit target, and let's see what happens now. So currently it's losing $100. Remember, I'm just using one contract, one E-mini S&P contract. You can trade with 2, 3, 4, however many you want. Now, I don't recommend that you trade with 5 contracts on day one. You have to learn the system, learn how it trades, be comfortable with it. Start off with 1, even a micro, and then you can increase the number of contracts, whether that be micro or regular E-mini S&P or the NASDAQ or the crude oil, whatever markets you want to trade. But again, I just recommend you starting off with this example as well. I'm only doing 1 contract. That means you're getting almost a realistic point of view of what it means to trade 1 contract, being able to make or lose on that 1 contract $500 or $1,000. Right now it's losing about $12.50, $25. So you can see realistically how it trades. Now, if the market is really strong and volatile, these numbers are going to be moving a little bit faster, but the market's in a pretty good rhythm. It's not overly strong or overly weak as well. So what you're seeing here is every time it ticks up or ticks down, it's $12.50 being made or being lost. There's a couple other settings I want to mention, and I know some of you have already seen other videos on this, but if the system fails to make the profit target within X number of bars. So we have a setting where it says we're in a trade, the target hasn't been hit. After 10, 20, 50 bars, whatever setting that you have that set to, close the position. So that means we're not in a trade that's doing nothing or going anywhere. The second setting we have is what's called maximum bars in a loss. Now this is a good setting because it'll get you out of a losing trade almost immediately once you have a set number of candles going against you. So I have it set to 2. So if 2 candles on this chart close higher than where we entered, it'll close the position. It's indicating that there's 2 bars that have traded. They're not going in your favor. What's the reason to hold on to a trade? Now, some traders tell me that they like to use 3 or 4 bars. I have it really conservative, 2 candles. So 2 candles that go against me, close the position immediately. The other thing you're seeing here is the trailing stop. So every time the market makes a new low, as I'm in a position, it will trail behind it. So right now, the trailing stop is 43.80, and if it goes below 43.72, it'll continue to drop down by a tick. So it's really trailing a stop by 1 tick. We have a break-even option. So if it goes a certain distance, it'll move to break even. We have a trailing stop option included with the system, and we have the ultimate target. So remember, my goal is to make $1,000 since I updated it from 500 to 1,000 for the day. If it never makes it, it'll close out the position. It'll try again up until 11:45. So that's the cutoff time that I have it set to. Let's only trade using in these parameters that I'm using, I'm only trading up until New York time 11:45. You can trade after that if you want. Usually the market gets a little bit slower towards the afternoon, but right now I only have the 8 range chart and the template trading up until 11:45, and then I'll decide if I want to continue or change that or trade more or trade a different market or maybe not trade the autopilot at all. Now, as we wait for this to do something, go somewhere, maybe try to make that $1,000 target, if you haven't done so already, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can always be notified whenever we have live streams. We try to do live streams on a daily basis using the roadmap and other software with other traders that are using the methods that we teach in mentorship. So that's free to the public, the live streams. We also have a free member account, so if you haven't already accessed our free member account, there is an option to get a free member account. We have a free some free goodies there to try out on the free member account at Daytradetowin.com. So that's an option for you if you're interested in learning and downloading the trading software. You can go ahead and get a free member account. All right, so it looks like the market is going in our favor, which is great. As traders, we know that it's not always this easy where everything just falls into place. So it's nice to see that everything is working as it should be. The trailing stop is there. So if the market reverses, currently 43.77 would get you out. Now, the other thing about the autopilot is that you can close out any position manually. So if you decided that you said, you know what, an additional $250 is great, I just want to take my profit and close the system down, you can do that. You can move these orders around if you'd like. You can close the position. So you are still in control. Even though this is an automated trading system, you are in control. And a lot of traders do that. A lot of traders, they see the signals. They want to enter at a better price. They want to wait for some other confirmation. So you can definitely trade it manually as well, or you can let the system do everything for you. So I'm not touching it. I'm going to let it do its thing, completely automated, entering, managing the trailing stop, managing the target, and also managing that maximum $1,000 that I'm trying to achieve now. And it actually was hit. So the daily profit limit a second time was reached at 43.69 quarters. So for the day, starting at the first signal of the day, all the way until where we are right now, the third or fourth trade made the entire target that we had. So it stops trading, as you can see. Now, I don't necessarily know if I would try and restart this again. The profit is pretty good on one contract for the day, so more likely than not, it's best to leave it alone and not try a third time, obviously, because we can give it back. So very happy for today. If you have any questions on the autopilot trading system, visit Daytradetowin.com. Send us an email, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care now.